Okay, let's talk about graphing parabolas. The easiest way is to have it in vertex form. So once you see it in vertex form, here's what you can tell. Where is the vertex? Duh. This one is at 1, 3. So we can plot our point, 1, 3. We can tell that it's going to open down, and our A is -2. So we can do a little indicator here on our graph to remind us that it's going to open down, because that tells us a little bit more about it. We know our axis of symmetry is x equals 1, so that's this blue line right here. And that means that all the points will be an equal distance, because these are symmetrical, from this line. So if there's a point over here, 2 units away from the axis of symmetry, it's going to be 2 units away on the other side. Alright, so now it's simple. Pick an x value on one side of the axis of symmetry, plug it into the equation, and then we're going to find y. I like to pick zeros, -1s, 1s. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you're going to have to pick, if your graph is or your vertex is way over here, you won't be able to pick 1 or -1. Pick one about 2 or 3 units away from your vertex. Alright, I'm going to try for this one, -1. It's easy to work with. So I'm going to plug it in, and I'm going to find what my y value is. I end up with y equals -5. So the point that I'm looking for is going to be -1, -5. There it is. Nice big dot. Next, we need to find the mirrored point on the other side. Here it is, exactly 2 away from our axis of symmetry. So it's going to be 2 away on the other side. These are the only 3 points you really need to sketch a graph of a parabola. If you wanted to, you could pick a whole bunch of points, but this is all we really need. The next thing we do is draw the parabola. Now, if you wanted to figure out something else, you could say we could pick 0 and see where it's going to cross right here. Or we could pick 2. It's going to be the same one, the same distance over on this side. We could pick anything in between. Sometimes it's just easier, though, to pick something that's pretty obvious. Don't pick anything that's going to be too hard, because then you'll just make your life a little bit harder, and that's no fun. All right. So if it's not in vertex form, then you have to complete the square. Now here's the deal. There's a special way to do this where we leave the y here, but I choose to do it a different way simply because when we do it for circles and for hyperbolas and for ellipses, we don't have to have this funny little y thing here. So I just kind of ignore it, pretend it's not there, and then I'm going to use this x squared minus 4x plus 2. I'm going to move it away, and I'm going to just complete the square that way. And, of course, if you know the process, you take your b term, you're going to divide by 2 and square it, and you're going to add that to both sides. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. Then we're going to factor this and get x minus 2 squared equals, when we add these two together, we get a 2. Okay, we can't have 2 equal signs here, so we're going to move our 2 back over to the other side, and it becomes -2. And we're going to put our y equals back in there. So now I have y equals x minus 2 squared minus 2. What do I know? It opens up. My vertex is going to be 2, -2. And my axis of symmetry is x equals 2. So I can plot my vertex. I can indicate that it's going to move up. It's going to open up. And I can do a little indicator here, an indicator line, that my axis of symmetry is on 2 as where it crosses the x-axis. Then, very simply, we do the same thing we did before. We're going to pick a couple of points. And I'm going to pick -1 and 7. -1, because that's the easiest one for me to pick. I could pick, remember this is at 2, so I could pick 3 or 4 or 5, but -1 is so much easier. So I put -1 in, I get -3 squared, which is 9 minus 2, which is 7. My point is -1, 7. Then I have to do my mirrored point, the opposite of the axis of symmetry. If it's 1, 2, 3 units from the axis of symmetry, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 units on the other side of the axis of symmetry. So I connect my points and I draw my parabola. It's just that simple. I hope this helped.